Thank you for joining me. I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you for
Um,
having me. I'm so looking forward to this.
of course. So, a little bit about Pop Palace. We focus on celebrating iconic women and LGBTQ people in pop music, but also pop culture. And so, when I first started um, the idea of Pop Palace, you were like one of the first people that I was like, I need to talk to. I've been following you since like Maud Latour era,
Oh my God.
and as a big mod fan, I saw your pictures. I was like, oh my gosh, she gets it. She's one of the girls. And so I'm so excited to have you as our first guest on the podcast.
Oh my God, the first?
Yeah, so last season was a dissection of Madonna's discography.
Oh my God, wait, I have to listen to that.
Oh my gosh, and they're all like 10 to 15 minutes, so it's not like such a commitment. But I wanted to talk to some people that are in the real world and haven't been doing it for 40 years like Madonna, and so some new perspectives. So thank
Thank you
you for joining. Yay.
for having me.
Yes. So for those of you who don't know who are listening, this is Anna Koblish. She's creative director and photographer. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your background?
Yeah, of course. I graduated from college in 2020. At the time, I wasn't studying photography I wasn't taking photos at all or pursuing photography, but the pandemic really kind of enlightened me to so right before the pandemic hit, I assisted for a photographer and we were on set and I was like, that is what I'm supposed to be doing. And then when the pandemic hit, I was kind of forced. We all had like nothing to do, but I was at home with my sister and I just started taking photos again for the first time. And I think it was like 8 years. I hadn't really shot all throughout high school and not through college either. So I picked up the camera for the first time in like a long time. And I just decided that I wanted to do it. And I did. And 4 years later, here we are. 4.5 years later, here we are.
I love that so much. I'm all for someone that I'm going to school for music business, but I don't necessarily think that I need a degree to be in that business. And I'm all for not feeling like it's too late to start something. Like I just started this in April and I'm still continuing. And I love how far you've made it in just 4 years. That's wild. Um, what has been one of your absolute favorite moments on a project so far? Have you had like a, wow, I love what I do moment?
Yeah. I guess I can talk about the most recent one. I've had a few big ones. But the most recent one was the Athena Club and Juicy Couture campaign I shot in LA over the summer.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why it was so big to me was because I art directed. The Athena Club came to me basically and they were like, we just want you and we want your ideas and we want your style. And that's never happened for a big campaign. Usually there's a few different photographers up for the job and you either have to pitch to get the job or they kind of make a decision internally. So this was the first time that they approached me and there was no bidding process. I just had it and we just went from there. And it was really special because they kind of gave me a loose brief of what they wanted. You know, the name of the campaign was The Sweet Escape. And I think Gwen Stefani was on the original mood board, but they really let me play and we got to expand the production value and we built these sets and I helped art direct the sets and I really did have my hands in every part of those images. From the styling, I picked all the clothes, the hair, the makeup. The makeup I kind of deferred to Kaylee, who is an unbelievable makeup artist, and I knew that I could trust her. Because it kind of, you have an idea what you want when the model shows up and they're in the outfit. Things just change with the lighting and everything. But the lighting I was really proud of. I have an incredible lighting team. Byron Nickelberry is my lighting director, and he is just so talented, and he really like pushes me. And I don't know, it was like a really big moment. Like it was a big moment for me. I just was so proud of it, and it was the first shoot I've ever done with a set build, which I've wanted to do for so long. And honestly, the shoot and the process of building out that world was more fun than the actual photos. Like that's how it feels to me. Like I think because I just want to do it again and see like how far I can go and what I can make. Like that's the fun of it now, which is so interesting because that wasn't always the case.
That's so interesting to hear because I was listening to you did an interview about like 3 years ago, and it was kind of talking about you were in a lull of a moment and how um, you were just taking anything to get the bills paid, and then seeing you 3 years later and being able to create your visions and create a world into a reality and being like the only choice. I mean, I don't know you, but I'm proud for you already. That is so incredible.
Thank
Do
you.
you, when you get picked for a job like that, how do you put the pieces together without getting overwhelmed? Do you create like a vision board, a mood board?
I think it's more overwhelming to me to start from nothing.
Okay.
When like when there's an open brief, I think that's way more stressful than somebody bringing something to me because I live very well in a box. I like a little box. I love a brief. It really helps me ground the idea and build outwards. But in terms of my process, I just listen to the client. I hear what they want. I ask questions. I nail down the logistics, like how many photos do we need? How many looks do you want? Where are these going? What are these being used for? And that kind of informs the decisions I make after that are a little bit more creative. I always make a deck for every shoot I do. That's like, I think I started that at the beginning of 2023, and it's definitely a huge game changer. It just distills the idea, and you print the deck out and you just go off the deck, and it makes life a lot easier. It makes the day go smoother as well. But yeah, I will do a mood board. Maybe that's more theatrical. And then, the brand or client will give me their thoughts, give me their feedback. We make any tweaks, and then we just kind of go from there. I'm very easily overwhelmed, but I think experience just doing a big campaign every few months. It's just kind of gotten me to a place where I know I can handle it.
Have you gotten to a place where you've been able to tell people no and you don't have time for things?
Just recently was the first time ever that I've ever passed on a project. I have a lot of guilt. I had a lot of guilt. I never wanted to say no because I was really, and still am, very hungry. Like I wanted it. And I just knew that like I had to do everything possible to get where I wanted to go and just shoot. I think in the past year, my time is just really, it's spent on editing, and that's really time consuming. It's draining, like physically sitting at a desk and like having to do it for like 12-hour days all week, like editing. And so I think my time is just less open these days. Especially since, I travel back from LA to New York and then to Philly and then, all around. But yeah, I passed on a project for the first time and it felt really good. I don't know if that's, yeah, it felt really good. Like it felt great because I just kind of like knew I didn't have time for it or the bandwidth, and it didn't, align. And I just needed to pass on it. And it felt good because it feels like you really are stepping into your profession,
Yeah, definitely.
But I really try hard not to pass on things because I want everything work.
I feel that. Do you have a group of people that you trust to help you when creating these images or creative directing, or do you keep it pretty small? How do you know, like, how do you create a relationship with someone that you can end up working with them and trusting them on one of your projects?
I feel like I have been really reluctant to building a team up until recently, just because I felt like where I was financially, where I was even just like not spiritually, but like as a person, as a business owner, I felt like I wasn't ready to like bring people on. And I also I have ADHD, so managing people, like relationships with people, has just always been difficult for me. I have really bad organizational skills and time management. But recently, I've been better at it, and I think it's paid off in a big way. I think also just On Instagram is the way that I get connected with a lot of them. Sometimes it's not though. Sometimes if a client hires me, I'll ask like, do you have a producer to recommend? But experience, like the more jobs I do, the more people I meet, the more people I really like. And I'm really like loyal in that sense, like because of the ADHD element. Like I don't, once I find something that works, I'm going to use them over and over again and use that process over and over again. So my assistant Mariana has been with me on and off for I think 2.5 years, almost 3. And just recently we've started working together in a more consistent way. Byron, the guy who lights for me, we worked together. I was paired with him randomly on Vans in 2022, and I just used him again on Adidas and then again on Athena, and I'm so excited for the next one. Yeah, it's just, and if you're on Instagram, like if there's somebody you want to work with, like shoot them a DM, compliment their work, give a specific compliment, just be consistent and show them love, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I'm a big proponent of reaching out and DMing. That's how I've gotten like most of my relationships doing music and things like that. It's just
Totally.
asking and then seeing if they're down to do it.
Mm-hmm.
How have you always had such a thing for color? Your colors are very specific and very like whenever I see an image, I know it's Anna.
So
And was that something that you planned on doing, or do the colors just come naturally to you? Like, I know, like, whenever I see like a certain kind of grass, like that green that you have,
oh
I'm
my
like,
god.
yes, that's her.
So the colors are very innate. Like they're innate. Like I don't really plan my color grades ever. It usually just go off of what the raws look like, what the lighting was, and the time of day, and then whatever the brief I'm given. But yeah, my color preferences, like it's just every single time that green looks the same, and I don't even know. I couldn't tell you, like what like hex code it is. I couldn't tell you like how to get there. I know how to get there. Like I know the tools I use to make it, but I don't. It's like an automatic thing. I see a green and I like immediately go there. It's I think my aversion to like warm tones, I think
Hmm.
is what gets me to these like cooler, more vibrant greens and blues and pinks. Like I automatically go for the like more cool tone version of something. Um yeah, it's so funny. That's so funny. People have
Yeah,
been recently like
really.
about the color grading, yeah, how specific it is. And now I like kind of want to break out of it a little bit. I want to start shooting more like darker stuff with more black in
Hmm.
it, just to
Yeah,
see. But yeah,
I remember seeing the Model Tour. I think it was her EP 001, and it was very cool tones,
yeah,
and I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, she like to me, you are the it girl of our generation in like photography and creative direction. And I'm not just saying that to like boost you, but like legitimately, anytime I see a new picture, I'm like, oh my gosh, of course it's Anna. She's a part of this, even when it's not from your page. Like
wow.
following Chloe Cherry for so long and her aesthetics and images, and then seeing you being a part of that, I'm like, it all comes together, and I'm so excited for you, and I'm so happy that you're like doing it.
Thank you. That's really nice. That's really, really kind. And it's like a good reminder that, I don't know, it's a nice reminder that I'm seen that way, perceived that way, because I think I get really overwhelmed with everybody who's working right now and all the amazing talented people that are out there and the people, my heroes, you know, like chasing their careers and wanting what they have one day. So it's nice to know that I've made a little bit of an impact. It really does mean a lot to me. Like this was my dream.
Yeah, definitely. Like for me, Pop Palace, like so a little bit personal about me. I'm a queer person in Oklahoma. Not a lot of that. So I always grew up seeing like people in pop culture almost as like superheroes where I could see myself in their space
Me
and
too.
like use that as like a confidence boost. And I think a big part of it is not just the music or what they're doing, but it's how they're presented in images and pictures and the creative direction. And you just encompass that so well that I was you're like Pop Palace royalty around here. Anybody that knows me, and like I've been telling everyone, I'm like, Anna said yes to an interview. So excited.
That is so kind. That's so.
But
I also love pop culture, by the way. I don't ever really post about it. If I usually will post an opinion on like pop music, I'll delete it usually because like I don't.
mhm,
The thing is that if you want to get hired by these people, you don't want to have like a record of something you've said. But I have extremely strong opinions, and all my friends know. Like the second I see them, I'm like, Chaperone's doing this, Taylor Swift just did this, Dua Lipa is like I just like will literally go off the list and update them on what I'm thinking. So like,
literally.
these are literally my favorite kinds of media to consume. So I'm so honored.
Speaking, yay. Speaking of media, do you consume other media like written media, TV that give you inspiration that's not just per se like images or visual images?
It's funny because I've been in such a work mode this year and so busy. I stopped listening to music outside of like the obvious pop girls, which I've never really cared for that to be like the only layer of my discography. And I wasn't really watching anything either. I have to, and also just like our phones and like scrolling on TikTok and Instagram Reels is such a nightmare. And I'm like really trying to like intentionally consume more creative, longer form media. I'm heavily inspired by movies. It's funny, the Athena Club shoot, as I was editing it, I went into Philly to see a rescreening of The Virgin Suicides, and then I started immediately reading the book and like living inside of this world, and it really did inform a few of those images. They're the ones that kind of stand out. They're not like, they don't look like they're taken with flash. I don't even think I really posted them yet because I'm kind of saving them for their own little moment. They're out there though. Just like dreamier, like milkier, like softer. And it was the first time that I'd ever done that. Like let this like visual world from somewhere else, like living inside of it to inform what I was working on. And I really, really enjoyed it. I think I want to do that more. Because it really did help, but I just think it's a nice way to like break your own patterns. Because like my cool tone green grass is great, but I want to push the envelope always. In terms of like, it's so funny. Tim Burton movies are my biggest, like they just have been my whole life, the biggest visual inspiration. And I feel like looking at my page, you like wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
It's so odd. And I think that's kind of where I want to go, like darker. I don't know why the colors just like I can't get over the urge to make everything colorful. But then when I do go darker, I'm even more in love with it. I think it was just a lot of like working with people who wanted the color, and then it like compounds and everybody wants the color and you just don't really have a chance to like do your personal stuff. But yeah, I'm trying to think like what other movies. There's been so many. I'm like an avid Letterboxd user. Like
Okay.
I log every single movie I watch, and I'll write reviews from time to time. But I'll write like either paragraphs or I'll write like 2 words. Like
Yeah.
love, so good.
Love it.
So yeah, I love movies. I'm
Would you
also
have
inspired by like for example, Caroline Polachek's visual identity for the last 2 albums actually, and then like Wise Blood, all of her visuals. Like those, I'm like really inspired by creative direction for like album rollouts, because that's like really what I want to do one day.
Yeah.
At least once. So
I love FKA Twigs and all of her album rollout. I'm so excited for You Sexua.
Yeah.
Good,
right?
Oh my gosh, so good. Would you ever branch out into the movie or film world?
It's like a dream of mine to write.
A dream.
To write something or to make a short film. Directing, I wanted to direct before I wanted to be a photographer. I just knew I had access. It just wasn't like the natural progression of like where I went. I don't know, like photo was just right there. I knew I could do it. I had the skill set. But I've always wanted to direct. I naturally direct when I shoot, and I've said this to directors on set. Like I can never do. You do it. And they're like, yes, you do. You do it. Like you could. I know I could. It's just like I'm not there yet. For whatever reason, I'm not there yet. But yeah, the answer is yes.
I
Heavily,
can't
yes.
wait. I'll be at the premiere clapping.
I
um,
hope.
I see it. I envision it for you. Speaking of movies, you worked with the Barbie movie. How was that, and how did that come about?
Um, it was It was really wild because obviously I didn't see the movie before it came out, but we shot it like 6, 7 months before it came out. Um, and I was working with Barbie and Vans, and the Vans team reached out, and I put together a fantastic pitch deck with a really well thought out idea. And I wrote, like, I like to write. So I wrote like, just like really descriptive, like notes about what I was trying to do for the theme. And they got the job, and we went back and forth on location, and then just like, yeah, we shot it. It was at the time Barbie was doing a lot of collabs with brands just to
Hmm.
expand the media net that they were casting. Um and yeah, I think the craziest part about it is that when I did finally see the movie, I was like, holy shit. Like, I literally nailed it. Like,
Yeah,
I that was like the craziest part to me. Not like to my own horn, but like I think it was just from watching the YouTube of like the BTS of the set builds,
hmm
naturally where I was at that point in my like career and the stuff that I was making. But like the colors, the sky, I was like, holy fuck. They hand painted that giant backdrop for Barbie World, and I had used a hand painted backdrop for the first time on the Vans shoot, and I've since only used hand painted. I
yeah,
love them. Like hand painted canvas, it's like my favorite. And seeing how large that soundstage was painted, I was like, that's the goal. Like, that is literally what I want to do one day. So yeah, I was really like really really proud of myself for that one, I think. And like, good on Vans for knowing who to pick for that,
yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Were you did you get to go into the Barbie house sets?
No, no. I don't even think I spoke to Barbie directly. It was all
Uh-huh.
through Vans because they were delegating all of these. They were just like delegating like their IP basically,
Hmm.
to other brands. But I literally wish, like, I literally wish.
Yeah, like I can't imagine. I like all the fake grass and like everything fake would be just so fun to like run around and pretend to be a kid again.
Yeah, seriously, like that set is the goal, not like the physical. There's a bug on my wall crawling. That's so gross. Ew. Um, yeah, that's like the dream. Like, that's why shooting in a set for Juicy was so. I never want to shoot not in a set ever again. Like,
Hmm.
I want to build sets for I have so many ideas for like rooms I want to shoot in, and windows, and like carpet, and like just random shit. Like, production design is so cool. So
So
cool.
fun. Have you had a favorite? Well, has there been a brand that you've worked with that has the results have been your favorite within like the end results? Personally, I was obsessed with your Steve Madden campaign. That
Yes.
was one of my favorites.
I didn't really edit those. Like, I didn't really edit them. They all of the like CGI or whatever was done
Hmm.
by somebody else. I didn't really edit them. Like, I just took really great raws that were, with a wide angle lens and good lighting on the green backdrop, and then I did my own retouching pass, and then they kind of did the rest. Because that was my first big campaign, and I think the producer of that one really had to convince them to hire me because I was kind of just, yeah, I was new. I didn't have one under my belt, so it was a little bit of a risk. So I showed up, not fucking around. I knew that I had to prove myself in that moment. So yeah, thank you for saying that, but I like didn't do it. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
did, but I didn't. Do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
definitely.
To answer your question, I don't know. I know I have something that I'm just not thinking of it. Like, my favorite outcome. I literally want to say the stuff that I worked on a few days ago. that like isn't out yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's all. If you were to ask me that 6 months ago, I would have told you the thing that I was working on then too. Because I have
Yeah.
like amnesia. I like can't remember anything that I've done.
Uh-huh.
I think with the bigger campaigns, it's like I've yet to really hit something. Because I think there's a lot of restriction working with clients, and my mode when I'm working with a client is just to please the client. Like whatever they want, whatever they want, I'll add my thing to it. But like really, the goal, you have to make them happy. That's how you build good client relations, right? But I feel like I've yet to really like love one of my bigger campaigns. I think.
I also love the Edie Parker campaign.
Yeah, that one was a good one. I really was really proud. Thank you for saying that. I was really proud of those. Because again, that just came from a DM. Like I DM'd her. I DM'd the art director, and we just had like a meeting. And like a few months later, we shot our first one, and then we shot our second one. I like those. I don't know why I'm so hesitant to say what my favorite is. I feel like I should be saying something specific, but I don't really have one in mind.
Is there a brand or a person that could be like past or present that would be like your ultimate dream to work with? I know it's like a big question, but
no, I've thought about it millions of times, and my answer has changed over the years. Firmly, Caroline Polachek is a huge one for me.
Yep.
That would be like, okay, I made it. I'm good now. Same with Wise Blood. And they work with some like really incredible creative people. So to me, it would be like so affirming. There's like other people though, in other brands. I think Nike was always my number one. It's a little bit harder to tap into Nike, I think, but also it's like not that difficult. It's almost happened once. And Nike is shooting things all the time, so I know it will happen. But like, I want like a big Nike moment.
Yeah.
And I did Adidas, so I'm kind of like Team Adidas currently.
Yeah.
I've written them down. I don't know why I can't think. I have like bad recall. I don't know. At one point it was Jeffrey Campbell. At another point it was Moon Boots. Converse is one that I really want. But I'm kind of like all of it. Like those will come. You know.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of
definitely.
I've like kind of had to readjust my goals recently. So I don't know. My main goal is just to make better things, is to make better work. Work that I feel like aligns with like what I like in my normal life and what I gravitate towards naturally, which is just like, you'll see, I guess. But I just want to like get better.
Yeah.
And make better things. That's definitely my goal. And whoever that attracts, like when I feel like I'm making my most authentic work, like it will attract the right people.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see where that goes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, your work's already like attracted. You can see the people that are obsessed with it are coming and they love it. Thank
you. Yeah. And I think for the first 3-4 years, that's what I wanted, I do feel like I've achieved the things that I wanted to achieve back in 2020. And I feel like it's time for me to set new goals.
Would you ever, or not would you ever, but do you ever think about being on the other side of the camera more than being behind it?
I think when I was younger, I was like, I'm going to be famous. I know I'm going to be famous. I'm meant to be famous. I'm built for fame. And I just like, my natural personality doesn't really like invite that kind of attention. I'm a little bit more like, I don't like going out. I don't like really, and it has nothing to do with being seen. It's like physically being out.
Yeah.
And like being like in the world is like so draining for me. I don't like it at all. And being online, like I used to post everything online, and now I don't really post that much anymore of like my personal stuff, and I kind of prefer it. So I just feel like if the opportunity arises, like I would love to. I've always wanted to have a show that I like interview people on and just talk to people. But like, I don't know. It's just not like, I don't see myself becoming like a face, I guess. People care about as much as I would love to be that. I think I know that like I'm supposed to be like known for my creative output, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
also in a sense, like your creative output is boosting other people so much that it's like without your help, then their images wouldn't be the same and give like the same energy that it would by somebody else.
That's so kind. Thank you.
I truly mean that. Like, I'm not just trying to like boost you, but like, I'm honestly such a fan, and I was so
That's
grateful that you came.
it really means a lot to me when people send me messages and say that to me because it's like all you want, you know, when you're making something, you just want people to feel something. And I think when you're making it, you don't really, you know, you don't know the impact it's going to have. Like once it's just out, you don't really trace
Yeah,
that impact, you know? So it's really nice to hear that. And thank you for having me on. I'm really honored and like humbled. It's really nice. I really appreciate it. I hope
and I
that's
have.
coming.
Oh, sorry. I have one last question. So at Pop Palace, we each have our own royal court. They have musical influences or culture influences. So I was wondering who would be on your throne and who would be in your court? About like three people in your court.
Okay, I think the throne currently is Chapel Rowan.
Yep.
Um, like everybody else, I'm so excited for her and just the type of personality she is, and like the newness and the freshness and just like the rawness of her. I'm really excited to see what music she makes. I have
Mm-hmm.
opinions. I have opinions on what she should do or who she should not work with anymore and who she should work with.
Yep.
Um,
I'm
I
so
want
excited.
I just want her to like combust in on herself and like, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
I really think she has it. Um, in my court, Caroline Polachek,
Yep.
obviously. She's like just like one of those people that I feel like is so unique, just based in, you know, their ability and the way they see and just like personality, like so in. Um, Pat McGrath would be in my
Uh,
court.
yes.
I've loved makeup my whole life. It's like my other interest. Um, so yeah, she is like the queen of, I think she's a dame now, Dame Pat McGrath. Um,
Yeah.
she's the queen of makeup. So maybe she should be on the throne, but like, I want her to do Chapel's makeup. I think she did. I can't remember. Maybe for the VMAs. Maybe I just said that in my mind, like hoping that would happen, but I don't think that's actually what happened. But I want Pat McGrath to do her makeup really bad. Who's the third person? I don't know.
It's okay if you don't have one.
I like need to. Going to go through my. I know I have someone. Who would yours be?
So on my throne, it changes though
Of course,
very frequently. But on my throne is Madonna, and then in my court,
it should be in my court. But like,
yeah,
I don't know if
but
that's
um, like Madonna is just like the footprint and a kind of controversial opinion that I haven't been saying, but I think Chapel is the closest thing we've had to a Madonna within Stardom Rise lately.
I agree.
And so Chapel would be on my court.
Love that.
Um, Lana will be on my court. And then a little rare card, maybe like Trisha Paytas moment for a little bit craziness.
Like for fun.
Yeah, just for like fun and silly.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I feel like I just want to go with like a musical artist I really love, but like I don't know what he's done for culture.
That's okay.
I feel like it would be like Aphex Twin or
Yeah.
like Sam Geltry or SG Lewis.
Okay. Yes.
One of them,
Definitely.
but one of them will throw in like, cause yeah, that covers all my bases. We have like music, we have like art direction and music, we have makeup, and we have like more music.
Perfect.
Oh, Sofia Coppola.
Oh,
We're going with an
okay. Yep.
all woman court. Sofia
I
Coppola.
love it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yay.
I feel good with that answer.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for coming and joining Pop Palace. Where can everyone keep up with you?
In Instagram is just my name, Anna Koblish, Koblish. TikTok is Anastasia Koblinski. I don't really post on there. And then I have a secret makeup account. I think it's like Makeup Lover 699. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think I post anywhere else. But yeah, maybe I should. I don't know. I had a YouTube channel. There's stuff on there, but it hasn't been updated in years. That's me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It was so great to meet you. I really appreciate it.
So nice. This was such a lovely conversation. I really
Thank you.
appreciate you bringing me on. It was really fun.
I also wore my Chloe Cherry shirt for you.
I love it. What does it say?
It says Perfect Angel Girl.
Oh, love. Is that
Yeah.
her own merch?
Yeah, she has merch. I was like, I'm had to get.
That's so fun. Thank you so much.